Countdown over.
Yeah, we're on, but I don't see us.
Did you get to see any of Phil's podcast?
The which one?
Phil's podcast
Yeah, I caught the
with
end.
Mike on it today.
Yeah, yeah, really good. Where the hell are we,
Uh,
man? Where the hell
It
are we?
says live. Oh well,
Yeah.
it's doing its own countdown. I see up above it says live and it's counting down.
Oh, is it?
No, it ain't counting down. It's counting the seconds.
Yeah. What the hell? We
It
had all
says
this.
live. It says live. Live now, so I guess we're live, buddy.
Yeah. Ugh, this is what I hate.
Now I'm gone, but you're there.
I am there. You see me?
Yeah, I see you, but I don't see me. I'm gone. I can hear you, but I'm not up there. There I am. Now you're gone.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's got to be in between. Doesn't matter how prepared you are.
Oh well. It's still like we're still like babies in this deal.
Yeah. Yeah. See, it's going. Um.
Okay, it's Daniel. Let me see here. Invite yes.
Sorry if you guys can hear me. You can't see me. We're working on it. Jeez.
Mhm. For some reason,
Can you hear me though? Yeah.
yeah, I
Okay.
can hear you, but I can't see you. Or I can see you, but I'm not up there for some reason.
We already did all this earlier.
Oh, we had it down a while ago, earlier.
Yeah. See, I don't see either of us.
See, now I'm up there, but you're not.
But you can see me.
I can't see you now. I just see me. Wonder what the hell is going on.
I mean, we did all this. We were all good to go.
Can you see down below where it says guest?
Uh,
It should be to the right or left, maybe on yours of the mic and the camera.
hey, sit down. Okay.
Does it show any guests there?
No,
Click
doesn't
on
show
it
it.
and see if it. Click on it and see if it lets you in.
Which one?
The one that has people on it. It's just beside the camera there.
Yeah, it only comes up with invite guests into the
See,
studio.
now I can see you. Can you see me?
No, I don't see
Huh.
either one of us.
That's weird.
My
What the hell
gosh.
happened?
Oh, but we're already 5 minutes in. What the hell? I don't get it. I don't get it. Hey, no whining, please.
I think no. I thought we had it for a second.
I thought we did too. It says it's uploading. We've already done all this.
It's showing the eye and it's showing two, but it's not showing me. Let me check. I got a message on my thing here. Somebody's saying, "Howdy, brother Dan." I don't
Jeez.
know who would say that, but that's cool.
Oh, it's Let's Go Dogman Project. Let me
Okay.
say hi back.
We got people, but can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Huh. Wonder why my dang picture up there. I just see two pictures of you. Hey, we're having problems, but I see you. Hey, that's the first time we've ever been able to see comments.
Yeah, definitely.
Huh.
What do we do? It's like
Now it's showing three. I think the I in three means three viewers.
this one?
There's
Or
an
is that
I
an
up
invite?
under live that says three viewers. Look, then it's there. Invite guest. Invite me and see if it pulls me in there. If I'm afraid if I do that, it's gonna kick you out. Huh.
Oh, there's Bubba right there too.
There's Martin. Do you know how to comment back?
Yeah.
Man, I don't know what the heck happened to me. I got removed from the stage. Better say hi to Martin. We gotta figure it out, or we ain't gonna be able to get.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean I just don't. We had all this worked out. There's
Yeah,
Mike.
it was working good earlier.
We're
I don't
having.
know
Can you
what's
hear
going
me,
on.
Mike? You can hear you?
He said Martin says he can hear everybody, but he only sees you. And now I can't see you. I can hear you, but
I don't know, Mike. We this was all set by 3 o'clock this afternoon. Only see Dan. I There's really no way to check it unless we do it.
oh, Mike's on there too. And
Why
hey,
isn't it
Mike,
showing up on the
Hey,
screen?
hello.
Hey,
we're
Mike.
having some
Hello.
difficulties.
I hear you. What?
Can you hear me?
He can
Yeah,
hear
we had
you.
all this set up and good to go. Ethan can't make it.
Right.
Uh,
We need to get a better platform, I guess.
yeah, this is.
But if he can see us and hear us, we can do the interview.
I can. I
Yeah.
can't. I can't see anything. I can hear you though.
All
Can you
right.
hear me,
I
Mike,
can
or you
see
hear Larry?
you.
I
You're
hear
drinking a Coke.
both. Yeah, I hear both of you.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well,
Hey, Daniel.
I guess
Now
we'll.
you're.
I got both of you now. I think.
Hey, knock it off. You can see us?
I can see you, and I can't read. I can't
The
read
comments.
anything.
Hold on. Let me see. There you go.
Martin hears us.
I
But he
can't
only
hear
sees
Martin.
me. All right.
Oh,
Well, I guess
Martin's
we're
just
just
in
gonna
the
go.
comment.
Oh, got it.
So, what did you think of Phil?
Man, great guy. Man, I had fun. I would have
Oh, I
talked.
love him.
I'd have talked to them 2-3 more hours.
Hey. No.
Him and
Sorry,
Natalie or
guys.
something else.
Just wonderful, just wonderful folks. I was glad to meet them. Glad to
Yeah,
be on there with them.
Yeah, I've been on there with them. They're fun to be around.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
They're
they're
very
great
knowledgeable.
guys.
Oh, he taught me a little bit. Yeah, actually, I learned a little bit there. It was great.
Yeah. Yeah, no, those are the people that, make this all work and able to get all their information out to each other, and it works. But then you got the same StreamYard, and we're 12 minutes in and we can't see anybody.
Yeah,
We just checked this at like 3 o'clock
yeah.
this
We just
afternoon.
did this afternoon to check everything out, and it was working fine.
Well,
Uh,
my mic went out mysteriously on them for the last little bit of the show.
I saw that.
It was crazy, crazy. And it was good on my end. Everything on my end was showing. I was testing it. It was perfect. But
Yeah. Well, yeah, because you were there and then it just died.
yeah, no clue.
Okay, I can't see myself. Add to the stage.
well, I could see you and hear you, so I wish
Okay.
we could get Mike up there.
Yeah.
But like I said, I heard some of your.
There
There
I
he
am.
is.
There you are. Good.
Yeah.
You
And
too,
Daniel
Larry?
disappeared. That's all right if you can hear us.
I got you.
Good. Okay. Well, we'll just go. We'll just go with it.
That's-
So, all
I
right,
think
everybody. We got a little problem. Ethan can't make it. He had an emergency, and so we left it at that. But we're still going to do it because I've been waiting to hear Mike for a while. It's good to see him this afternoon, and we caught you. So yeah, because I've been following you since the Small Town Monsters docs.
Oh
And I'm
man,
like,
thank you.
where is that
Thank
guy? Oh, just great. Those guys are great. I wish I could get half of my stuff to work like theirs.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding.
So, all right, Mike, tell us a little bit about you then. Let's go ahead and start there.
Okay. And you guys just stop me. I've done this a little bit now where I feel like I'm repeating myself, but I know everybody's got their own audiences, so not everybody's heard everything. But I'm a military brat. I was born on Fort Bragg, North Carolina. My dad was one of the first members of the U.S. Delta Force, and
Wow.
we went between North Carolina at Bragg, here in Kentucky at Fort Campbell, and then we're at the Pentagon at D.C. for a little bit. But my dad was born in Callaway County, which is the county right to the west, there at Land Between the Lakes of Kentucky Lake. So we were down here every summer of my life. I started having memories of being here probably on average weekly since about 1980 when I was 8 years old. And lifelong outdoorsman. Fishing is the main focus, fishing and hiking. My dad and I would, when we were in DC, we'd get up in Virginia and West Virginia, the Shenandoah River. There's several rivers up there,
Yeah.
but the Shenandoah is popular. We would take week-long float trips up in the mountains. Avoided any deliverance type activities, so we were blessed. We were blessed in that regard. But yeah, man. And so I was here, and when I moved to Marshall County, which is the northwest there, bordering county of Kentucky Lake, permanently in 1988, my junior year of high school. Um, I started running around in Land Between the Lakes. We would skip school almost weekly and go. And so I got warned of and informed about just the local legends and some of the dangers and things. And
Yeah.
yeah, but never really anything sinister at that time beyond ghosts, witches, and the human element. And I can
Yeah.
talk more about that. But I was that guy in 2020 when my family and I had our Bigfoot sighting. I was that guy. I didn't think people were lying. I was interested in it. I watched the shows, but I would have told you I need to see it
Yeah.
to believe it, and we just got smacked in the face by it, you know. So it was the story's really well documented. Charlie Raymond of Kentucky Bigfoot Research
Yeah.
Organization, on his YouTube channel, he took me there. He did an investigation, did a real, like a mini doc. It was really good. And that night, he stayed. They actually got return knocks and they got vocalizations that were all on there and analyzed. Made me feel better, because to this day, 5 years later, 6 years later, I still wonder, am I nuts for believing in this
Yeah.
stuff? You know,
I hear you.
yeah,
Definitely.
yeah. So just Martin's in here. Martin,
There he
man,
is.
he and I are just great friends. We're kindred spirits. You know, we call each other brother, and probably if there's been a handful of people in my life that I would actually be close enough to and have enough in common with to think they might be my brother without being blood related, Martin is one of those people. So
Very
he
true.
called me a pathfinder one time, and that's pretty accurate. I like to fish and I like to hike, man. Um,
Yeah.
so so that's me, a family man, Christian man. That hard. I work pretty hard for a living, and just blessed for every day I get.
Yeah. You know, it's funny that you mentioned that the deliverance. Uh, I, I hung out with that kid, the banjo kid, at
What?
CryptidCon. At CryptidCon. Yeah, with Charlie Raymond.
Wow! What? Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
and
awesome.
he also had a very bad go at it uh, with Dogman
Wow.
in the Daniel Boone. That's where we did our last documentary there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's
Wow.
what. Yeah, I mean, so crazy. But yeah, Charlie, he was there too. I got to meet him and hang out with him. Just
Nice.
amazing.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and
Yeah.
you're a teacher, right, Mike?
Well, I'm currently now, yes, I did almost 10 years in the classroom at various schools. I'm currently now a district athletic director for a small county here in West Kentucky. So I'm a soccer coach. Um, I've been coaching soccer in high school in Kentucky for about 25 years, and got recruited over there to do that. I spent about 6 months teaching, and then that position of district athletic director came open, and so I'm an administrator now for the school district, and I love it.
Probably easier on your body too.
It is. I do miss the interaction. You know, I was told a long time
Yeah,
ago, find something you would do for free and figure out how to get paid for it, and you won't really work for a living. Um,
exactly.
and
Yeah,
and
totally.
and I'm almost there. I love going to work every day, but it does get frustrating sometimes, like anything.
Yeah. Oh, I hear you. So, Darrell's going to be in here soon. Martin is in the chat too. Thank you, Martin. Appreciate it for backing us. Yeah, the true Pathfinder. So, yeah. So, what type of experience have you had in the LBL?
Man, I'm fortunate enough, I guess, misfortunate enough, depending on which angle you're coming from.
Sure.
It will sound too good to be true, and I realize that. The Bigfoot stuff, I've seen Bigfoot multiple times. I've seen the ghost and the shadow figures. I've been hanging out with Martin, and now I've seen Dogman, and been
Yeah.
way closer. The orbs, any of the UFO stuff, rogue waves. I hit a local lake monster legend that Martin taught me about. That's very well
Oh,
documented. I think I hit it with my boat. The
nice.
vampire clan. I used to go to their site. I rented the same house, the top level of a house that they actually rented in. I don't know how familiar you are with Rod Farrell and that story. It was in one of the
Yeah,
small
I've
towns.
heard. I've
I'm the
heard.
one that actually told Alex Petikoff, and we were just when they were interviewing me there. He's like, "What?" And he did a great job in that documentary with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I've seen that
Um,
documentary.
I'm pretty sure I actually called the FBI. There's a well-established missing persons case from 1980. Two girls, I believe they were sisters, but two girls from Dover that were killed in the park.
Oh,
And
really?
and and I'm pretty sure the same guy. When I saw the age progression sketch that the FBI put out, I know I saw that guy creeping up on a girlfriend of and me in the woods. Um,
Really?
and then
And then,
I heard the screams very close to the location of the controversial massacre. I had a story I've shared. I heard the screams of
Yeah.
this thing in 1989 and did hear about this massacre pre-internet, pre-Jan Thompson's story. So
Yeah.
I guess, and I love sharing it. You know, my only goal is to make people aware of what's out there and when and where to go places safely. But
Yeah.
I've just been there so long, man, and I love to stay under the radar. That sounds funny because I'm on all these podcasts and stuff. But but I've
Not
just
at
been
all.
there,
Trust me.
you know. And Martin's the same way. You know, people don't know that after his experience in '93, he spent so many years digging into the history, and he's taught me so much. Just to, you know, this place has been strange since the Native Americans were there, and probably before.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I've experienced a lot of it. Yeah.
Yeah, he and Daryl, taking me in like a son, and I learned so much from them, and not even much the podcast anymore. Just the guys that have been there and walked through, all the shoes of all the
Uh huh.
people that were there before, and God
Yep.
bless them for
Yep.
spending that much time down there too, because
Absolutely.
I can't imagine. So,
Well,
but so tell me a little
I'm
bit
gonna
about
get there
this
one day.
documentary. What's that, Larry?
I
I'm
said
What
I'm
was
listening.
it?
gonna get there one day.
Well, come on. We'd love to have you.
We're gonna he and I are gonna go down there and
Okay.
hey, I'm sorry.
You're good.
New rescue dog and he's out
Oh,
there.
I got you. I got you.
But how so tell me a little bit about this documentary you guys are working on.
You know, I just hung up the phone with Ethan on the way
Oh,
here. And
oh you did. Good.
yeah, so I've got just up to date information. I know why he can't make it. You know, he's got some stuff going on. We're all praying for him. Great guy. Ethan's a great
Yeah.
guy. And I'm excited about this because, you know, Ethan had some personal experiences, just like we all have, Martin and Daryl and all of us, Ron, that have driven him to find out more and to help educate people and share. And you know, and I've told him he's seeing some things that I'm not able to see. Now, some of it he showed me, he shares everything with me, and I have
Yeah.
absolutely I've seen enough that I'm excited to go in there because if we can catch on film what we think is there,
Mm.
and even if and even if some of the stuff we know is there, it's
Yeah.
going to take things in a whole different direction, and it's
Yeah.
you know it's exciting, and I'm a realist. You know, I don't know what to expect when we get in there, but I know we're going in there to try to do some stuff that has not been done, and it's I'm really excited about it. Really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Now, do you feel that you're a little more protected in the LBL being a Christian?
Absolutely, absolutely, yes, 1000%. I
Yeah.
approach all this from a Christian standpoint. Now that may be a more expanded view than your Baptist or Methodist preacher is going to share with you on Sunday morning.
Yeah.
But you know, I go right to the Bible, and a lot of this is biblical, and I think that that yes, you know, and I had a story when Martin came down to, I can't remember, we've done so much, but Martin came down to an event we were having, and he's recovering from, I don't want to share too much because the guy's tough as nails and recovering from some illness. But at that time he was able to get out, but he wasn't able to go. But they all wanted to go to one of his sites, and I'm the local, and they're like, "Take us in there, Mike." And I'm like, "Guys, I don't mess with this demonic dog man."
Yeah.
But I did, and I saw what I had called a demon. We all saw these orbs. We all saw a friend of mine, Mark Roberts, caught something in a thermal that I had caught as well. It was his thermal. And then I saw this glowing eye thing, and we got out of there, man. It's scary, but I was telling people I knew the history of this place, and I don't doubt Martin at all. I prayed. It takes about 10-15 minutes to get in there from where we were, maybe a little longer. I prayed the entire time.
Yeah.
And I seriously think that's the only reason.
Protection.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny because a lot of people that I know that go to church, because I'm right across the street from Saddleback Church. So, I mean, it's walkable. And I've had people ask me, "Hey, this cryptid stuff is going to take you away from the Lord." And I said, actually, the opposite.
Yeah.
You see some of this stuff and you're going, I'm
Yeah.
going to start talking to God a heck of a lot more often.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You
Absolutely.
got to have an open mind going in, and these cryptids, a lot of them are in the Bible. It might not actually name them.
Yep.
But I think they're all related to the fallen in some way, spiritual or physical.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hang on one second. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you're good.
Knock it off. Ugh. He's a new rescue, and
hey,
he's trying to learn the rules.
Yeah.
Well, my cat was trying to be on the podcast earlier, so
while we were trying to figure out all this setup and everything was all good, we're like, okay, we'll come back at 5. No, it's still gone.
Oh man,
this is only our 4th podcast, so it'll get better. We'll learn it.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, there's Darrell. We got Darrell.
All right. Hey, Darrell.
What's going on, guys?
Hey, brother man. How you doing?
All right. How about y'all? How you doing, Mike?
Doing great, brother. How are you?
Good.
All
How
right.
about everybody else back there? Good to see you guys.
Still fine.
Yeah, Larry
and my other brother.
Nice to have you here, Darrell. Doing good.
Well, I'm kind of in a quick studio. I'm not in my studio, so I've got a fan hanging over my head here, but I guess it still works. So,
I got the dogs that are barking like crazy.
We might be able to see everybody.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
When is this documentary gonna happen?
Well, I think we're looking at late April, early May is the last I was told. And,
cool. Very good.
Yeah.
So you guys,
back when Ethan called and asked me to do this, it was going to be early winter, which would have been January. And I said, I don't think that's going to work.
Too cold.
Then it went to February, and we've had what I've understood from him is, of course, he's had the flu all week, and I think he's still got it. But what I understood from him is the funder, the person who's funding this. I thought Ethan was doing some of that, but what I've understood from him recently is the man that's funding it is wanting some more things done, and I don't think he can pay his part of the funding until somewhere in early April.
Yeah. Well, good. Yeah. We got some really great documentaries coming out of the LBL too.
Oh, yeah.
Just gets more people interested and more people safe, I hope.
Yeah.
But,
Doyle spends a lot of time up there.
yeah,
Oh
both
yeah.
of them do. Well, and you guys know them personally, I
Oh
imagine, right?
yeah.
Go ahead, Mike.
Well, I was just gonna say I was fortunate enough they've got something going and they included me in that. It's a behind the scenes kind of role. I guess my face might get on there with in an interview form or something like that. But yeah, I'm good friends with them, absolutely, and proud to be so.
Yeah,
They seem like good
pretty good
people.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, good people.
Yeah.
How about
Well,
you,
there's
Daryl?
a lot of things going on about the LBL right now. A lot of people are claiming different things and other things, and of course, I try not to get in the middle of any controversy or any type of drama. That's just the way I operate. So I don't want any issues with anybody. I just want things to run as smoothly as possible. So,
Yeah.
Joe and Jesse have been a good friend of mine for a long time, and I'm not as close to them as I thought I was, but they're good people and one of the best on the ground teams out there, as far as I know. So,
Yeah,
I think I think the LBL has really took forefront to anybody that's in the cryptid world, especially because anybody that's even close within a state or two of Tennessee or Kentucky, they automatically hit an LBL to camp out or try to see something or try to do some type of research. So it's become probably the South format of anything to do with cryptids.
Yeah.
So,
wow,
Absolutely. And it's
You,
go ahead.
no, that's all right. Go ahead, Mike.
Well, I was just gonna say, it's and Daryl and I, we talk probably weekly. Martin and I, we see each other and talk, and we've talked about it. This place, there is some drama going on. I'll just say it, and this place is going to be here. There's nobody coming in here to conquer this place.
Yeah,
This place will get a hold of you. Sometimes positive, sometimes negative, and there's plenty of it to go around. It's been doing it. I'm telling you, since the dawn of time, since it existed, this stuff has been happening. And I was joking with Martin the other day. We were talking about it, and I said, I'm gonna be Switzerland here. And I think Martin ended up agreeing with me. We're gonna be Switzerland. We're gonna try to love everybody. We're gonna be honest and straightforward with everybody and upfront. But we need more coming together than pulling apart right now. We just do.
amen.
We just
We need
do.
Most
unity.
definitely.
Yep. And
Yeah,
so we don't stand for it. I don't stand for it. I like saying I'm fortunate enough. I'm friends with everybody.
yeah,
There's enough to go around, everybody. Go in there,
Oh
do
yeah,
your
there
business,
is.
do your stuff. Let's build each other up instead of try to
exactly.
tear each other down.
you couldn't have
Yeah,
said
No doubt.
yeah,
couldn't have said it
well,
any
I
better.
agree 100%.
I don't have an issue with anybody. There's plenty of space there for everybody, and you got
How many acres is that?
170,000 acres, and I don't think we're going to be tripping over each other out there.
No, we're not
We're
going to be
not.
crowding each other.
We're not.
Martin and I have been going in there for a long time together, and he's been my best buddy for 46 years. So that tells how old we're getting. And Rod being my other best buddy, and Mike filling in there now too with my other buddy Barton Nunley for years, and still a close best friend of mine too.
Yeah.
But it's people that you get in there with that make the difference too. Because I wouldn't allow anybody on my team or to go with me in a place that I'm told is, some places that are so dangerous there that Martin and I have been on, we didn't want to invite anybody else to go. And you don't want to take anybody in there, a part of your team. And, that's why, Mike has joined us lately, and I'm glad that he has. I trust him, and I've got his back. I know he's got mine. But
Absolutely.
you
Yeah.
bet. Let me tell you the big difference about the LBL. When the lights go out, it's a whole different world there. So
You got it. You got it. The land between the lakes is in charge of everything. And Barton, Barton doesn't get enough credit. Barton's probably been there doing it better and longer than all of us, and he's just so humble and he stays behind the scenes. But that guy knows better than anyone. That place is in charge. Period. The end.
yeah.
I've been through some crazy things with Barton there, and Martin too, and Ron's been with us the last 3 or 4 years, but you know, you don't ever know what you're going to encounter there. You really don't. You know, we were there in March of 24 on a trail trying to track what we thought was the Dogman area, and we run into a crawler. I never seen one before in my life, and it ran up a tree like a squirrel. It was the strangest thing I've ever seen. But you don't ever know what you're going to encounter, though. You really don't. I've seen the moon change colors there and things change. I don't know how that happens, but I had about 12 people that witnessed it, and we seen the craziest things I've ever seen that night. I mean, we seen hundreds of snakes crossing the road. Hundreds of snakes crossing the road that night when the moon turned over.
Oh, yeah. I remember you saying that. That's crazy.
We've seen herds of deer running across the road just like some kind of matrix happened or something. And I think Letitia and Unley even seen a Mothman landed in front of them in the middle of the road. So,
yeah, I remember that. Yeah, jeez.
I mean, you don't ever know what you're going to happen, what's going to happen there, what you're going to encounter. And, you know, I know there are things there that people would never believe unless they've seen them. But, and I haven't seen everything. I'm sure there's people probably seen more than I have. But, you know, it's not about who did what or who did this. It's about going out there and experiencing something and trying to figure out what it is and how to protect people from getting killed in the LBM.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
For every one person that comes forward with the encounter, there's probably 50 or 100 that doesn't.
You're 100% right. And that's worldwide because people are afraid of the negativity and they're afraid of the criticism that they're going to get when they tell somebody. So I know an old man that reached out to me a while back and he said, I've been holding this in for 50-something years and my nephew was telling me about you and he reached out to me and I listened to a story for an hour and a half that I couldn't even believe. And this is the kind of person that he doesn't get on social media. He doesn't tell anybody what he's saying, but he's seen it for years and he just finally wanted to tell somebody.
Wow.
Yeah. I had my encounter in 89, November of 89, and I seen Daniel's group and I clicked on it and me and him started chatting back and forth. That's the first person I ever shared the encounter
Well, that's
with.
good that you found him. It really is. You know, I think we started, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that me and Mike Patterson started the first Bigfoot group on Facebook. And that was back in 2014. It was called Blue Ridge Sasquatch and Crypto. And it's still there, but.
Well, I was going to, I recognize that name.
Yeah, it's still there, and Mike's in my group now, and I'm still a member of that group, and Steve Dorsey and I were in that group back in the day, and I don't think there was any other cryptid group on Facebook, and it was pretty amazing how fast we grew. We didn't grow to large numbers, but we still had the same issues. So many people would get in, and somebody would say something to them negative or criticize them, and they'd leave and wouldn't come back, and that was the biggest reason I started my group, and you know, about 4 years ago was because I was not going to allow criticism or ridicule on anybody telling their encounter or what they'd seen because, you know, Martin Groves, he had PTSD till he told his story in 2022.
Yep.
Yeah.
He didn't tell a soul but me, just bits and pieces. We'd go to lunch. I was the mayor and he was the sheriff. And we talked about a little bit of mine, a little bit of his. But we were afraid to tell anybody else. They'd think we were crazy. So, that's what it is. You know, I'm glad that there's forums like this. You know, you got podcasts, radio shows, and groups now that you don't have to feel that way anymore. People can reach out and be friends with each other and understand what the other person's saying. So
that's one of the reasons why I opened up with Daniel, because he would have said, hey, there won't be no criticism. He said, if you don't want to speak of it out loud, message me. We could talk, and I did. And each time I talked to him about it or started sharing it with other people, I felt better.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think you do. 100%. Yeah.
Totally.
You know, I learned a lot from Mike. You know, when he was doing that documentary back, I don't know, 3 years ago with Small Town Monsters, and Martin and I.
Yeah, I seen that.
Yep.
Mike was in the documentary with us, and I listened to his, and I got to know Mike pretty good, and he reached out to me and told me about the dog man. I think him and his daughter seen behind a guardrail, and
Yeah.
I kind of became a big fan of Mike's, and I become a good
It's
friend
scary.
with him. And
Yes, sir.
it was cool to hear that. And anytime you hear one of those stories from a credible person, it makes you feel more comfortable because you're not the only one. So
Man, I can still see that thing's eyes staring at me right now in my mind.
Oh yeah, right now.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm out in the woods and it's like I feel its presence.
Yep. Yep.
It always stays with you.
Oh yeah.
So when
I
you
got
got a
lost
group of
in the
guys
Blue
you can
Ridge.
talk to with about it, it's all right.
I got lost in the Blue Ridge Mountains back in 2021. And I've never been lost in the woods like that. But when you get in the woods like the Blue Ridge Mountains, you're out there. And I was lost in there for almost 4 days. And thank goodness I finally found my way out. But you realize real quick that you better have the right kind of equipment if you're going to go into an area that deep. And I did. And my granddaddy said, always follow a stream. It'll take you to civilization. That's what I did. So,
he's right.
I heard noises in the woods like I can't even imagine to tell people. And it was the most scary noises I've ever heard. It was pretty terrifying. But the noises, I don't know what it was, but it was crazy stuff. I had 4 or 5 Bigfoot that scared me to death. I don't think they were very friendly with me, but that was the second night I was there. But anyway, they didn't try to harm me, but they didn't seem real friendly. But you get lost like that, you'll hear some sounds, I can tell you.
Oh, I'm sure.
It probably multiplies because you're already a little frightened in the middle of nowhere in the dark. So
I tell you what, sightings are just picking up everywhere.
Oh yeah,
that was my next question.
I'm hearing about more Bigfoot sightings, more dogman sightings. Well, it's all around the U.S.
Yeah.
Well, I think
the veil's getting real thin.
I think there's more of them now than there ever was.
Right. I do too. Yeah.
I really do. I know there is Bigfoot wise because when I had my first encounter in '92, my granddad knew what it was, and I'd never heard of it. I've heard of Bigfoot only because of the Boggy Creek monster thing I heard when I was younger, but I didn't realize they lived around the South. I thought they were out west in California or Oregon or somewhere like British Columbia, but they're everywhere. And now I know that, and I've seen them in probably 6 or 7 different states. I've seen some type of Bigfoot, but Dogman I've seen 4 of. One in Virginia, Tazewell County, Virginia was my first one, and the rest of them were in the LBL.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my next question: is if you guys heard or taken more reports lately, because it's the reports I'm taking, it's 3 times as much as it was a year and a half ago.
Yeah, there's a lady that just came forward, and we shared it. I think it's on Darrell's group. I've got a small group called Pathfinders Public. It was shared just recently. A lady at Wranglers with her daughter, and I really loved it. I forget her name. I'm probably not doing it credit, but she was so confident. And I think just the environment is changing and we need that, where people are getting more comfortable sharing. She came out 100%. It was a dog man to me, what she was describing, but this is what I saw. This is what happened. Luckily, it just turned away and walked away from them when they were on their horses, the way I remember it. But yeah, and we had just talked to a friend of ours, Mark Roberts, who's an admin and part of the admin team in Pathfinders with me and Martin. He had a guy reach out and share what we think is a dog man. He didn't see it. It was more of an audio type of encounter. So that's just recently.
Well, I think there's more. First of all, there's more people in the woods than there were before, and they're out looking for these creatures. And you don't ever find one; they find you. But they know when you get out of the vehicle, they've got a peek, or especially a Bigfoot. They'll have juveniles on all 4s crawling around logs, watching you, and run back and tell the other ones what's going on, or do a wood knock, or an owl call, or something. But I've watched them do it, and I've been going close enough for about 5 years with a family on the river that I learned so much from. And so, and they're different. Not all of them are the same, but there's more people in the woods. They're tearing down more things, building more subdivisions, or building more,
They're taking away their habitat.
Yeah, they're taking away their habitat. They lived on some of them for a couple hundred years or longer. And
Yeah.
when you do that, you're going to see more of them. Plus, people are now not as frightened to tell people, hey, I seen one, a Bigfoot. You used to tell somebody that, and they just write you off, go get you a straitjacket and take you straight to the mental hospital. But now people will go, oh, you did? Where'd you see it at? I mean, that's the that's what you get now compared to what you got about 20 years ago. So, that's a good thing because it opens up more, and you're seeing a whole lot more sheriff's department and law enforcement officers coming out too and telling the things they've seen. Yeah. And before they were frightened to tell anybody, the same as Martin was, afraid they'd lose their job.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, that's the biggest reason people are coming out more. And I do know I really believe there's more of these creatures now than there ever was. They really don't have a predator. I mean, who do they have to harm them unless it's one or the other?
Yep.
Yeah.
Or somebody trying to shoot them. That might be a possibility. I'm sure it is, but they don't really have anybody. They're the main one in the woods. They're over everything, and they have the abilities. The abilities is what's so shocking. I don't know if Dogman has as much abilities. The one Martin Groves and I seen in the LBL had that ability. It went into some kind. I don't know what it came from, but. And it was walking like a regular creature, but it was transparent at the same time. So I don't know how to explain that.
I don't know. Yeah, Martin and I just had that kind of similar sighting early January. Absolutely, I saw it. Walked right into a tree. Walked right into a tree.
That's what he was saying here. That you guys have had a Class A recent sighting. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Scary, man.
Well,
scary.
My radio partner Ron Morehead, he is probably the number one guy that I know with the energy factor, the quantum factor, I call it, which I think he has the best book ever written about it. I've not read a lot of books, but I've read that one 5 times. Every time I read it, I pick up something different. But the higher energy and the vibration these creatures have is he bases that all on Einstein's findings. And Ron is intelligent when it comes to that type of stuff. He enjoys studying it, and he studies it to the T and finds the differences in what causes this higher vibration. And the dimensions is another thing. We can only see, the scientists think, 3 dimensions. Some people can see maybe a little bit into the 4th dimension, but it's very rare. Animals can. Yeah. I mean, these things could be in a 6th, 7th, or 8th dimension. How do we know? We don't know. But everything we talk about on these things, most of it's speculation or just quantum effects on what we've read and understood from other people, because we don't know all the answers, and I don't think anybody does. That's why I say there is no expert. There is no expert. So if you find one of them, let me know where he's at.
Yeah. Let's see, Mike, tell them what we encountered in January. It's probably one of the latest encounters. Or is that
Martin and I? Yeah, Martin and I and a guy named Big Ray, we and we went. You guys still got me? It sounds like it's.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all here. Okay, so
you're good.
We went out. Martin and I were out on a day that was so windy, probably not much business being out at all, and went to my spots. And again, I'll admit I don't mind the Bigfoot stuff. I'm not crazy about all the dogman stuff, and because I know it's real, and I honestly believe that the intentions are not. I don't think a Bigfoot is going to hurt you normally. I think there would have to be some type of other circumstances involved, but. We ended up going to a spot Martin knew, and it was great. We told one more guy, giving him some directions, no cell phone service, but he ended up getting there. Now, Martin and I had been there probably an hour before, had built a fire. Just strange. We had seen a truck blocking the road. that's a big ticket in LBL. It takes a guy with some big cojones to just block a road.
Yeah.
We looked, there was nobody in the truck. We couldn't tell, but it was it was weird, but it was still a great day. We were out of the wind, had a great fire going. Martin and I sharing stories. I'm usually really attuned to the watchers, and Darrell was talking about the peakers. So I saw one, what I think was a Bigfoot watching this, and I shared that with Martin, and I know he had heard some stuff too. He doesn't always let on. He doesn't always
Yeah.
let on. But Ray got there, and he had a couple dogs, great dogs. They kind of changed the atmosphere a minute, but then all of a sudden, man, right before dusk, the coyotes behind us started going, and I mean, they were less than 100 yards away. They were right across the road, and then all of a sudden, the best way I can explain it, from in front of us, we hear the sound from American Werewolf in London that they use when those guys are out in the swamp. Just a just I can't.
Yeah.
Man, we hear it twice.
Yeah.
About that same time, I'm looking up from the fire, and I didn't tell him at the time I saw it because I thought I was nuts. But I drew a picture of it and put it on my Facebook and some stuff.
Yeah,
I
I've seen
saw
that.
it.
It's running through the woods.
Well, before that, it morphed into. You could clearly tell the dog man shape, and it kind of morphed where it was almost gonna come into reality, and then turned into smoke and disappeared into this tree. And before I could just sit there and tell them that, we hear these howls. We had already been convincing ourselves that we were hearing other stuff. Then, so I go get my gun, and all Martin says, and he hadn't told me at the time, he said, Mike, and I was in a hurry. We're only 20 feet from my truck and my Jeep. And I don't draw my gun. I don't pull my gun. I'm not a big go for my gun guy. And that's all I wanted, even though I really don't think it would do anything with something that was interdimensional right in front of me. And he said, calm down. He said, just walk easy. Don't. And so I knew then something was going on. And then he told us right as soon as I got back, he said, guys, I can see it. It's right over there watching this. It's walking full figured. And then we hear the growls. And I'm just ready to get out of there. In the interim of this time, we had heard some shooting, and we knew it wasn't duck hunters or regular deer season was over. So we're starting to put it all together. What we think happened was there was a kill team down there. They are killing cryptids or engaging cryptids under the guise of hog eradication. The people that do this aren't they're plain clothes. They're not uniformed. You're not going to know them. I really believe those dog men that were in front of us were probably coming with the two people that were in the truck. We heard two doors shut in this truck. So I'm thinking they were a part of what was going on not too far from us. These dog men probably started to engage us. I believe the coyotes started again, and we hear a different howl. And it shuts everything down for a moment. And that was kind of our moment to get the fire out and start getting out of there. Then as the truck was coming up, and I drew a picture of that, and the lights are hitting it, we see I think it was a Sasquatch, but it starts running. It runs right into that cedar thicket. I'm going to keep believing for my own sanity that there was a Sasquatch there telling these dog men and everything else to chill out and not bring any more heat down on any of them because they knew the kill team was close.
Yeah.
And I think that's what saved us. It's the most frightened I've ever been. And then even on the way out, Martin had told Ray about don't shine your light. All of a sudden I hear Martin ask Ray, he had a huge one of those new flashlights. He said, Hey, Ray, light this place up for a minute, please. And he acted like I think he wanted to show him something in his truck. Something had been hitting his truck. Somebody had been throwing stuff at his truck. And Ray's so cool. He's big guy, tall guy, but he was notably new to this, and he's like, what have I gotten myself into? And he was ready to leave. just
Yeah.
like he's been out with me. I trust him, but he was like, if Mike's rattled like this, something is fixing to go down. And
Yeah.
so Martin did a great job of just calming us all down. He got on out. We got out of there. And so I drew those pictures. It's homage to Barton Nunley. I know he's got the most famous Beast of LBL sketch, and I've always been kind of a sketch artist. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to do some sketching of this. So I don't know if I can share. I didn't, this is late, so I didn't get to send you guys stuff. This is on my Facebook page. The one,
some of them,
no worries.
Okay. So the one that looks like it's a mist going into a tree by fire, that is what I saw. I saw the legs and shoulders of this thing I drew running, but Martin had the full visual. I was in that drawing. I drew a tree. I was more behind the tree, so I just saw the leg and shoulders and arms, but clearly saw it in the shadow and heard it. And then I'm going to do one more of the thing that Martin actually saw in the woods stalking us. Ray didn't have a lot of sightings. He heard the knocks. He definitely heard the growls. You could see his face change. It was just
that's enough. That is
right outside the firelight. I mean, by this time it's almost pitch black, and you talk about just being stalked. I mean, you just talk about thinking something's going to be. I tell you what I did one time, and I didn't mean to. I almost stepped on an over 6 foot long timber rattlesnake.
Whoa!
Right on a walking path, and I didn't see it, and its head turned to my left about 4 feet away, and that's when I realized and luckily pulled back. It coiled up. I'm throwing stuff at it to try to get it to move, and I knocked its rattle off.
Oh.
And this was on a well-traveled path, and so I told my son, I said, son, I'm going to have to kill this thing because it cannot. I didn't want to. My dad tanned it. He's got the skin, but when I was fighting that snake, it was as big around as my leg and longer than I am. And that's the only time in my life I've really gone to battle with something my size. It's intimidating. It's intimidating. I've caught sharks, but from the safety of a boat with a hook and line, it was right there striking at me. I ended up killing it with my pocket knife.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's that was intimidating for me. And now, there's these 7, 8, 10 foot killer creatures that I know exist that and half of them probably want to do me harm. It's a scary thing. Scary thing.
Let me ask you a question for, I guess, all four of you, since all of you have had dealings with Dogman. When you were there, did you feel an evil presence given off by one? Or was it just kind of a neutral, you're going one way, it's going the other way?
When I had an experience with the red eyes and the thing that I saw in near Martin's original encounter site, I called it a demon. It was evil. It was rough. I didn't pick up on the seriousness of this latest encounter. I was mystified. So I had never seen that. And I'm still in my mind, knowing what I saw, trying to say, did I see that? But yes, then when you start hearing the growls, absolutely. I'm disappointed in myself that I didn't pick up on it sooner because I usually do.
Yeah.
I just had an overwhelming sense of dread. It just hit me and.
Well, I've experienced.
See, the hair still stands up on my arms thinking about it.
I've experienced, 4 of them. The first one I experienced was in Tazewell County, Virginia. I get so many calls and messages, more messages than I do calls because everybody doesn't know my number. But I get 10 or 20 a week of people around the country, or some people even in other countries, but mostly inside this area. that they have a creature at their house. What should they do about it? Or they have one on their farm, or what do I think it is? Or they'll send me a picture of a track or a picture of what they've taken of the creature itself behind a tree or whatever it may be. And it's always sometimes hard to tell because you can't really get a good shot of what you want to see, but it can be distorted by the camera, or sometimes they can see something I can't see. The viewer don't always see what the person taking the picture did, but getting to the point, first of all, I want to say that I think the world of Daniel and Larry, but you guys have been such great friends to me, and I love both of you. So
thank you. Thank you.
Love you too, brother.
Mike already knows in the world.
Him, so anyway, I mean, the first one I seen, like I said, was in Tazewell County, Virginia. And I was in an old country store there, about 3 hours from there, that I went to every morning. My daughter was living there at this time, and it's an old country store, just 4 or 5 old farmers sitting around in the store in the morning drinking coffee and telling stories. That's what it basically amounts to. And I've been going there every morning early and drinking coffee with them, kind of fit in with them real well. And this gentleman comes in that there's an Indian man that owns this country store. He bought it from a family that had it for nearly 200 years. And he doesn't speak real good English, but we all liked him, and he was a real friendly type guy. But this gentleman walks in with his son, and he says, "Do you know anybody around here that knows anything about creatures?" And of course, I'm sitting at this table not too far from the counter with these old farmers, and none of them really paid much attention or knew much about Bigfoot or Dogman. A couple of them had seen some Bigfoot in their lifetime, but they didn't talk about it a lot. Well, it caught my attention, and I listened again, and he asked the gentleman who owned the store, "Do you know anybody around here that would know about creatures?" And I just got up, walked over to the counter and said, "What kind of creature?" And he told me, he says, "Well, I don't know what it is, but it's killed all of our goats, and it comes out in the evening, and it howls real loud, sounds like a wolf." And long story short, he said, "You want to follow me out to the house, and I'll show you the tracks. Maybe you can tell me what it is." And well, I found out it was about a 2.5, 3 hour drive from where I was at, so I got his information, went out there the next day, and I actually, his particular area is very rural and out in the middle of nowhere, and you have to go through a creek and go up straight up and turn left to go to his house over next to where the barn was, where these goats were killed. And I met him because I lost my GPS. I called him on my cell phone. I went to back further out from where I came in, and I followed him there. And anyway, he took me to the area where these goats were killed, and after the goats were already gone, they'd already drug them off, and but he said their necks were tore out and they'd been eaten on a little bit, and I don't know how many they had total there at one time, but they were all had been killed at this time. And it was real muddy around that barn, and I could tell them as soon as I seen the tracks, I knew what it was. I've seen plenty of tracks at the LBL, different type. There's 2 different type of track a dog band makes. Some of them looks like a wolf, and then another one looks like a long hand, like with claws. And I don't know what makes them different, but they just are. So
it may be cut when he's walking on all fours that he don't use his entire rear foot, but it could be 2 different types of tracks.
Yeah, I think you're talking about the hawk part, Larry, where he sets back. But this is some of the tracks I've seen at the LBL and some other places. Some of them look more like a wolf, the paw of a wolf, except it's about 5 times the size of that.
Oh, and,
then some of them look like they have like a long, like hand with claws. And then they'll have the hawk in the back, or if they're walking on 2 legs. So
I'm sure there's different variances of it.
I'm sure there is. I've heard people say that some of them look more different than others. Some of them look like a hyena. Some of them look like the one I've seen, the several that I've seen, most all of them have looked more like a wolf head. I haven't seen one that looked like a hyena, but I know there's some out there like that. But anyway, this particular area, I went up there and he showed me where to go up on a hill overlooking the field that attached to the barn area. And I stayed there. I got out and walked around the field and everything else. It was probably about 200 yards long, fenced in, wire fence with the goat barn at the very end of it where they'd been killed. And it was probably 150 yards wide. And I was up on a little rise overlooking this field. I went out straight out his driveway up a little hill through a gate where he had his cows. And I was overlooking that field. And I was up there for 2 or 3 weeks. You know, I'd stay 2 or 3 hours. And it was a good drive anyway in the evening. And I'd wait till dark. And I was getting to the point where I was about to give up on this because I hadn't seen anything. And it was almost 3 weeks, I believe, or a little longer. It was on a Friday night, and I had made my mind up. If I didn't see something in the next day or two, I was going to call it quits. And I was starting to put together, well, they're not coming back because all the goats are dead. So that's probably why they're not coming back, or whatever, 1 creature, 2 creatures, whatever it was. And this particular evening, I was sitting in my truck. I had my rifle and my pistol with me. And I had a pair of binoculars looking out the window, the driver's side window. And I seen something move in the very top left corner of this field, right in the wood line. And, you know, 200 yards away, you know, I could see it was a creature, but I couldn't tell exactly what it was. And I put my binoculars on it, and this thing was stepping over the wire fence on 2 legs. Then it dropped down to all 4s, and this field had some sage grass in it, probably 3 or 4 foot tall in certain areas.
That'd hide anything.
And this thing took off running, and when it took off running, it didn't run like a dog. It galloped like a horse.
Yeah.
And I was looking at it with my binoculars the whole way, and it would go through some sage, and I couldn't see it, and I'd catch it when it come out on the other side. And it ran all the way down to the very bottom corner where I was sitting, overlooking that corner. And it stopped, and it would gallop some more. Then it would just take off running real fast. And I watched this thing run all the way to the corner. And then it stood up, put 1 leg over the fence, and stepped over the fence, looked right in my direction, but never seen me. And it looked like a German Shepherd, a black one, about 4 times the size of a normal one. And it had a head the head looked just like a German Shepherd, but it was just massive. The head was, like I said, 3 or 4 times larger than a normal.
Big as a pie plate.
It was big, yeah.
Yeah.
And it didn't have, you know, it was solid black. I didn't see any huge canines. It looked like a massive German Shepherd, and it stepped over that fence and ran on and went on down into the wood line somewhere, and it was almost dark. I went back the next day, carried my gun, my backpack, my camera, crawled over the fence, went all the way down to where it crossed, went down in there probably a good 500 or 600 yards down in there, following the trail, a game trail that this thing was on. And I followed it to a bluff, and it had dug. It looked like several of them were in there, but they had dug like a den up under this bluff. And it was just, you know, a hole about, you know, big enough for a person to probably crawl into. And I'm sure it probably went up inside there and opened up. But these creatures were crawling up in that hole, and I don't know how many were in there. But I looked around and walked around that area. I found bones everywhere. Deer bones, other top bones, you know, that been eaten quite a while back. There wasn't any flesh on them, but walked around the bluff a little bit, and I got a little nervous, thinking, well, I'm here by myself, and 3 or 4 of these things come out, they may not like me very much. And
Yeah.
so I was probably spent a couple hours walking around that area, and I found all kinds of tracks from them and where they were going, and went on back out and crossed the fence. And I went up and told the farmer what I'd found and what I'd seen, and he asked me, would they harm my kids? I said, I would not have my children out here out of my sight, because you don't have any more goats, so I don't think they're going to come back.
Yeah.
But again, you know, I don't know they won't. And he wanted me to tell him what it was, and it was kind of hard to tell a guy that had no idea what I was telling him what this creature was. But I said it's a lot bigger than a dog, and it's a whole lot more dangerous than a vicious dog. That's what I told the guy. And I said, just don't let your kids out of your sight, and don't let them go out in that field or around away from the home without you out there. And well, I'm leaving out, and I'm coming out, and I'm starting to go down the creek, and right as I'm going out, I get blocked by a truck pulling in. And it's Virginia Game Wildlife Services.
Wow.
And I can't get out the little drive to go across the creek. He stops in front of me and motions me to back up, and I did. And he pulls up next to me and said, "What are you doing up here?" And I said, "Well, been up on this hill here scouting out for 2 or 3 weeks." And what are you scouting for? I said, "I just different animals." I didn't want to tell him what I was doing, and didn't want to lie to him either. But
they know.
He said, do you have permission to be up there? I said, "I sure do. This gentleman up here in the house told me I could go up there and do whatever we needed to do." And he asked me if I had weapons. Told him I had 2 on me, and he told me that there wasn't anything open for hunting season, and I didn't need to have any guns. I said, "Well, I wasn't planning on using them unless I had to." And he said, "Well,
self-preservation."
You got a note with permission to be here?" And I said, "No, I don't." And he made me follow him. Actually, I got in the truck with him. I pulled my truck over. We drove up to the house, and the guy said, "Oh yeah, I told him he could be here. He's fine." And we went on back, and I got in my truck, and he said, "Let me tell you something. I know why you're up here." He said, "And I can tell you another thing too. There's some kind of creature that's killing livestock all up and around this county right here, right in this area, killing all kinds of livestock. Best thing for you to do is get in your truck and get out of here and don't come back." And that's pretty much what I did. So, but they all know what's going on. They know what's going on in the LBL. It's like just like Mike said, the kill. I don't doubt that don't happen regularly.
Look at Yellowstone. God, all the people that are missing up there.
Well, I mean, you want to talk about missing people? That's a whole different show. But I mean, you look at, you know, I follow Dave Pilatus regularly, and Ron Morehead and Dave are very close friends. And you know, something really scary. You know, how many people is really missing in the LBL? We don't know.
Oh, I bet a bunch.
We don't know. We don't ever know. But you know, Martin Groves has done a tremendous job interviewing people, knocking on doors, going to different areas, talking to people about encounters. Barton Nunley's done that, you know, over the years. So I've been with them on some of those, but they have really spent a lot of time up there trying to get evidence, talking to former sheriff's department, former game wardens, park rangers. They've done a fantastic job trying to get the information that they've needed, but they're still not getting everything they want. And I don't think they ever will. And I think that's a big reason why the U.S. Forestry Service has got it instead of the National Park Service, because they all know what's in there. And they, I don't know that they really have a way to control them. I think some of them, I don't know if they're man-made. Some of them are not. What I've seen didn't seem to be. Now, what we've seen go from a mist into a creature, I don't know how that could even be possible, but that's something from another dimension there. But
can you elaborate on that? Go ahead.
Well, I do think there's, I think these creatures are everywhere. I don't think they're just in LBL. So I think there's
national parks,
state parks, you know. Well, to give you an idea, my late friend Scott Carpenter, you know, he used to say, "Don't think these creatures are way off in the mountains 20 miles in." He said, "They're in the city park downtown." He said, "They're in there hiding in the daytime, watching the kids play and watching you walk the trails." So, and he had
peeking in your shop.
So, he had some of the
best I think you from a couple weeks ago. Heck, 3 or 4 other people came forward finding tracks around their areas after that big snow we had. Most of them looked like Bigfoot tracks.
Yeah.
But like Darrell says, they're everywhere.
Well, I tell you
They're
what,
not going to tell us.
I tell you where people make big mistakes when they're out in the woods. Maybe not necessarily looking for a creature, but just looking for evidence of a creature. And you have to, and I've done it. I don't do it anymore in case I forget. But my number one thought is always keep your head up. These things
Yeah.
get in trees, and they will hide in a tree as good as anything. Especially dogmen, they'll climb a tree. I've heard of a lot of people spotting them in the top of trees, and Bigfoot will too, but not as much as dogmen. So if you're out there looking for these creatures, keep your head up because you know one of them might be right above you. And you know, I think a lot of people don't realize that.
Oh, when I go mushroom hunting anymore, I'm looking up just as much as I'm looking down.
That's what you got to do.
And I always go with my gun, a 45 or a 10 millimeter.
Yeah. Well, we had when we were in the Daniel Boone filming that documentary, you know, we are just passing the sign. It's less than a minute in, and we completely missed it. And it's 30 feet up a tree, and you can just see the head, the ears, and everything looking over, and it's watching us. So, yeah, they can climb. That's for sure.
Well, you know, as crazy as it sounds, I've been a believer for quite a while. You know, when I first got into this with Michael Patterson, with the group, you know, he calls me one day and says, "Have you seen this guy named Matthew Johnson?" I said, "Who?" I never heard of Matthew Johnson. Dr. Matthew Johnson, y'all probably know who he is. He's in my group. I think I'm the only group he's in, but he's a great guy. He has his beliefs, and I respect anyone's beliefs. I think he's genuine. I don't think he tries to make up things or tell false tales, but he has some far out ones there, and you have to listen to them and to understand them. But Mike Patterson said, you got to look at this guy's DVDs. He said they're amazing. They're kind of like what you experienced on the river, the ones down there. And I said, who is this again? He told me Dr. Matthew Johnson, and he said, I'm gonna send them to you. He sent me 3 videos, the Great Reveal 1, 2, and 3, and it's pretty amazing what Matthew Johnson has done with his ability to learn from these creatures. And you know, whether you believe him or not, I believe he's got credibility, and I do know some of the things he said in there are pretty spot on to what I experienced with the ones I was friends with for nearly 5 years on the Cumberland River of Tennessee. But they do live in the trees. And like Mike said a while ago, he seen one look like he walked into a tree. How they do it, I don't know, but I 100% believe these creatures just vanish right into a tree.
Yeah. Well, portals have been known to, or trees have been known as portals, especially for Sasquatch.
You know, I have seen a lot of these creatures. I don't know why I've seen as many as I have. I'm talking about Bigfoot and or forest people or whatever you want to call them. I think there's different ones that I go by certain names. The friendly ones are the forest people. That's what I call them, and they're non-aggressive. And as long as they feel what you have inside of you, they can tell whether you're a good human being or not. That's how you become close to them. And I must be a little bit good because I was close to them for nearly 5 years. So I learned a lot from them, and they trusted me, and I trusted them. But those are the ones you want to run into. Those are the ones that make the large X's in the woods, like a fresh tree broke at the bottom, and they'll make an X, and then they'll put deadfalls on the trails, and they'll put deadfalls against other trees and make these X markers. But Dr. Matthew Johnson calls those creatures the Xanu, Xanu.
Oh, Xanu. Yeah, that's right.
And, the X is what the Xanu stands for, and I'd never heard that. The ones on the river, I did get some English words out of them, and they did speak to me at times, but not like they did him. And you know, it's pretty remarkable what if you want to see some pretty remarkable stuff. Go look up The Great Reveal 1, 2, and 3 by Dr. Mark Matthew Johnson. You can still watch them. I post them in the group every once in a while. It's pretty amazing, pretty fascinating stuff. And the guy's still in my group, and he has a Camp Zanu in Washington State where he lives, or is it Oregon? One of the two. And then he has one in North Carolina too. And he has people out there to stay, and it's pretty crazy. Ron and his lady went out there a few years back and stayed, and these creatures come in and put their hands on you on your cot you're laying on next to the forest, and they'd even heal people. Right. So it's something else these days. You know, I already know these creatures have a tremendous ability to do things that our mind don't understand, because I've seen them do it. But you know, when they can, they just have a way of doing things that we just don't understand. And the strength they have alone is enough to understand that, where they can twist a 4-inch limb just like it's a straw, and it's amazing. And the ability they have, I believe their senses are like 10 times greater than ours. Their sight, vision, and smell. And I promise you, they know when you get out of your vehicle and you're coming in. There's no doubt about that. But so, you know, I think some people are kind of marked or have abilities with them, and I don't know. Maybe it's my Indian heritage that helps me with them, because I can feel the Bigfoot. I know I've heard that Mike has a little bit of that too, but when I go in with Martin in certain areas, they go, what do you think? You feel any? And if I do, I'll say I do, and if I don't, I don't. But I can feel them when they're close by, and Martin has that ability with Dogman. Yeah. I don't know how we get that ability, but we have it, and this wasn't anything I ever wanted to get into. I don't know how it happened, but it did. So it just kind of just happened. I don't really know. My grandmother was very spiritual, and both of them, but she always told me that I had special abilities, but I never thought it was this. So I was hoping it was something else that would have made me rich instead of being running around right here in the woods looking for creatures. So
exactly. Do you think that they know that you have a spirituality about you? Do you think they would notice that? Oh,
I know they know that. 100%.
They do.
They can feel your abilities. They can feel you. They can feel they feel the reason why you're there. Yeah. If you have good intentions in your heart, they pick up on it. Yeah. And I'll tell you what really blows my mind is these creatures. You know, I've asked them many times where they were from. The ones I'm talking about that I had on the river that I spent nearly 5 years with. I was there every day or every other day, and I'd stay anywhere from an hour to 3 hours with them, camped out with them all night long. So they were in a big patch of kudzu to the left of me, and I was 50 feet away, and I could hear them in there at night. And they'd look over at me at night and see what I was doing. But their abilities are just incredible. I mean, they're a people. They're not an ape. I truly believe Dr. Melba Ketchum's findings. I 100% believe in her DNA studies. When you have over 100 samples, I don't know how they can be contaminated, but especially with hair, blood, and saliva, and 58% human, female, and 42% unknown creature. So, you know, what's the unknown creature? The ones in the river pointed up when I asked them, does that mean you're from another galaxy? Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
So I don't know. I guess they're from another galaxy. Their father was. So that's all I can say. I don't know. I don't have any proof of that. That's the sign they gave me. So, you know, when I'd leave, they'd say bye. Because they heard me say bye. Then I hear them all say, bye. Be a whole bunch of them. And they just, they're amazing creatures. They have their own language. They have their own language. They know our language. They can speak our language. They can speak American Native language. They can do about anything they want to do, but they don't want you to know that.
Right. Yeah.
Wow. They're very protective in that way. They don't want to give up their abilities to everybody, even though they had trust in me and I had trust in them. But when they reach out and touch your finger, the female touched my finger, and that was like probably the most astonishing thing I've ever done. So
Yeah.
never forget.
Well, you're probably the only one that has.
She touched my shoe toe. She loved to touch my toe of my shoe. You know, you got a rubber tennis shoe, and they want to feel with that. So it was kind of.
Yeah.
But they're amazing creatures, and I don't think all dog men are bad now. Okay, I think they're bad.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So, but
I think it's just like people, some good ones, some bad ones.
I think there's some Bigfoot out there that would have you for dinner, and Scott Carpenter told me that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. In fact, I just found his book, the one with the DNA. Gosh, what's it called?
Yeah, DNA. It was Scott Carpenter's findings.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He's probably got the
amazing.
best. He's probably got the best portal picture ever filmed.
Oh yeah.
If you've seen that one on the trail where he got it with his back camera, you can actually see a Bigfoot stepping out of the portal.
Yeah, I did see that one where it was on a knee.
Amazing. Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Scott had a lot of great pictures. He hiked those Smoky Mountain trails on ones over and over for so long. You know, Pete Carp, his son, Travis Carpenter, is a good friend of mine, and I have so much great respect for Scott and his family. And I do believe that Scott, when he passed away in August of 2000, I guess it was 2023. We were all to Gatlinburg Bigfoot Conference that year, and we're supposed to go out with him the next few days, and he had that brain aneurysm from coming back from the trail. He had an aneurysm and passed away, but he was zapped or infrasounded so many times, and you know, I've only been zapped 3 times, twice by Bigfoot, once by a dogman. He was infrasounded or zapped so many times. I don't even know how many times. Probably 15 or 20. And I think it has effect on your brain or your mind, because I think it's some type of form of radiation.
Yeah, I think that's why everybody's getting sick with cancer and stuff like that, or aneurysms too.
I think it probably causes aneurysm, is my point.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking it's either that or Big Brother. You know, I know that we have a tendency to rub them the wrong way, and had a couple of good calls from them too. So, hey, Mike, I heard you talking about frequencies with Phil.
Yeah.
You think that those frequencies open up portals?
Yeah, absolutely. We're all frequency. Everything's frequency. Everything's vibrating, and it's not out of the realm of possibility to understand that something could have control over that and be able to manipulate that, just like sound waves, just like in any of the waves. You know, if you looked at this world through these full spectrum cameras, the different spectral analysis, you know, it's lively. It looked like the surface of the ocean. And so it's just not, you know, I think the hippies were onto it when, you know, you talk about your vibe, you know, you talk about somebody's vibe, somebody's vibing.
Totally.
That's what they're talking about, vibration. And absolutely they can pick up on that in people. And then I think they can manipulate that as well. To probably
like
go
the
between
big cats
dimensions.
when they roar and growl, puts out frequency. Like infrasound.
I think you're right on it, Mike.
Yep, absolutely. Yep.
No doubt about it.
Now, Darrell, you said that
the average guy that just works 40 hours a week, goes home with his kids, he doesn't get out in the woods or camp or hunt or hike.
Yeah.
Can you imagine what the normal people would think if they really did know these creatures exist? I mean, I know some people that don't even know anything about this subject.
Yeah.
I mean, what worries me is when they go in the woods, they decide, okay, let's go in the woods and camp one weekend. We'll go back in there a couple miles and camp. that's the real reason that Martin and I and Martin have been on top of the LBL for so long, because I don't want anybody to go in there without knowledge of knowing what could possibly be in there.
Yep.
I really think it ought to be illegal for not be signs up saying there might be a possibility of this creature in there. You don't have to admit that they're in there if you don't want to, but at least tell people.
Yes.
So they'll know that it is a possibility that some type of creature may live in this area. So
That's right.
I don't understand it. I really don't. We've been deep in the LBL and way into the hollows just hiking over the years and found tents in the middle of nowhere and the whole back ripped out of them. Now, I don't know if somebody got scared and run off because something attacked their tent or somebody got drug out of their tent. So, but we found a lot of personal items in those tents that I don't think people would leave.
Right.
Yeah. Wow. Now, Darrell, you've heard that metal gate slamming, right?
I haven't heard what sound like a metal gate slamming. What I heard sound like a big dumpster door shut. Like a trash dumpster.
Yeah.
That's what it sounded like to me. Now, I've heard other people say what you're talking about, a metal gate. I've heard people say it sound like a cymbal, like a drum cymbal.
Yeah.
What I heard, one from a way off distance, sounded like a big trash dumpster lid dropping, like when the garbage company comes to the school and picks up the dumpster and just crash down. I've heard that twice. Once not too far away from where I was, and once way off in the distance. I heard it, and deep enough into the wilderness to know that it's not anything mechanical.
Yeah. It's just way too far out there for any of that.
You don't have a trash truck riding around out in the middle of the woods, 30 miles in or whatever. Just it would just make no sense for whatever. I don't know, whatever it is. I believe I lean to what Mike was just saying. I think it's all to do with the difference in the energy separating and opening up a portal, or the vibration being so high it creates that type form. I don't know. It could also be, a lot of people speculate that it could be portals that are opening up in the sky. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've talked to people that actually talked to a lady that swears up and down there was a portal right in the middle of Walmart.
Oh.
I know that sounds crazy. It does to me too.
No, it doesn't sound crazy anymore.
A portal opened up right in the middle of Walmart while she was in there.
Oh my gosh.
People have seen things that I haven't seen, but it'd be pretty strange to be in Walmart and see a portal open up. I can say that.
Well, that explains why a lot of kids are throwing tantrums.
Walmart and the dog man jump out now. That'd be pretty scary.
Well,
y'all remember now, January of 2025, it got covered up real quick. But you remember the Miami deal, where
Miami Mall,
creatures.
Yep.
In the middle of a mall in Miami, two big, huge black creatures were just walking down the middle inside the mall, and everybody
I think I heard of that.
Ran and took pictures, and thousands of people were just fleeing the area.
It got shut down quick.
I don't think I've ever seen so many police cars in my entire life. There was probably
no, me neither.
Everybody did all the people's videos disappeared. The government took the videos, wouldn't give them their phones back, and
wouldn't give them back. Yeah,
it just got quiet. You didn't hear anything else about it anymore. So if that happens in the mall, it could happen anywhere.
Yeah.
Go to the bathroom.
Yeah. Do you guys think we are at end of days, as in for the Bible?
I've heard that all my life. My mom would always say, "It's the end of time coming. Things are so bad. It's just, you have to wonder about it. That things are so different." But and wars upon wars, that's always been a rumor in the Bible. I'm not a biblical person. I'm very spiritual and believe in Jesus Christ and say my prayers, but I don't know the scripture like I should. So
I think the best scripture, and I can't quote it, but I know it exists, is Jesus alluded to when everybody's heard of him and when everybody's got the message, that's when it'll be. And I think that's the greatest clue. I personally think we're close.
Yeah.
Uh, based on the like Daryl said, the wars and the rumors of wars and the situations, and we're just the division and the things that are coming to a head. It's got to come to a head and explode at some point.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but that has always happened. You can look at lots of points in history and think that was the case. So I always lean towards, has everybody in the world reasonably had a chance to hear the name of Jesus? And I think
Okay.
that's why it is suppressed so much,
Yeah.
because Satan is in charge of the world.
Yeah.
When he went and engaged Jesus up on the mountain, and he said, "Hey, just do this, and I'll give you this."
Yeah,
Jesus
you can
didn't.
have my kingdoms.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Jesus didn't take that opportunity to lecture him on how that wasn't his. Jesus kind of acknowledges, "Yeah, you could do that."
We never missed a service, and we had to go to church every time the door was open until I was 18 years old. And then I had to move out if I didn't want to go. And I did move out, not because I didn't want to go, but I had other things going on. But we never missed a service. I mean, I went to vacation Bible school my senior year. So that's just the way it was in my house. Me and my brothers went to
That's how it was at
Bible
my house.
school, and there
Southern
wasn't no being sick, and there wasn't no I don't want to go. You get up and
Yeah.
or you
Well,
get
Dad drove the church bus, so you had to go.
Go to work with that. But the most terrifying verse still in my mind is what I've heard numerous times that y'all may have heard different, but it says in the Bible, when the time comes, it will be like a thief in the night. The moon will turn to blood, and
no man will know.
Terrifying thing. Can you imagine that? You're witnessing that. But I guess the best thing to do is just be ready.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Be ready when if it's coming or it's not coming. And every time I bring up that point, I can't help but think all these creatures that I've friended over the years, they all know who Jesus Christ is.
Yeah.
And that is, to me, is just amazing, because I'll ask them, do you know who Jesus Christ is? They just give you a look like they're just scared to death. And they're very alert when you mention Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm sure it speaks volumes to them.
Martin run into the woods when we had dogmen surrounding us in the LBL one night, howling and barking. There was a whole pack of them around us, and he runs into the woods and starts screaming a scripture. And I said, "Don't go in the woods, man. These things are all around us, man." Him barking, he runs right in the woods, starts screaming this scripture, and he'd already been zapped 3 times that night. He was sick as a dog.
Jeez.
And
I'm
talking about, it was so quiet you could hear a pin drop. We didn't hear another howl the rest of the night.
Jeez. That's the power.
Power behind it. The name of Jesus and the scripture.
So, amazing.
Don't believe in it. Don't think it works. You better get to knowing it and plan on using it.
Yep.
I read where a guy had encountered one, and the only scripture that could come to mind was the Lord's Prayer. So he started repeating that, and he said the dog man that was coming at him turned around and went right back in the woods.
That 100%. Don't doubt it. And that's another reason. People ask me all the time, "Man, you're crazy. Why do you go in there?" And I've been in some areas where there was a lot of creatures. I mean, probably 5 or 6 of them at one time, and they were a mixture between, I really don't know what all of them were. I could see the Bigfoot, and I could hear the other ones growling and everything. But just like Ron Morehead says, we're loaded with weapons. We got the spirit and the power of Jesus Christ with us. And there is nothing that is stronger than that defense. And, Scott Carpenter proved that to me when a pack of rogue Bigfoot attacked my farm back in 2004. Scared my horses to death. They wouldn't even go back in the barn or the stable. They never did go back in, and killed all my cats and tore my farm up, and were banging on my door trying to get in after me every night. And he told me, rebuke them. And I've been setting up for 2.5 months with a 270 automatic and a 357 Magnum, in my hallway waiting for these things to come in. And
Yeah.
2 o'clock in the morning, and I was worn out. And I finally called Scott. What can I do? He said, rebuke them. He told me how to do it. And I did exactly what he said, and they never came back.
Hey, Scott also told you about something else to do in the corners of your
Go all
yard.
4 corners of my property and say, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus Christ, and not harm my family, my farm, or my animals.
Yeah.
And leave now. And I did that at all 4 corners of my property. I did that at all 4 corners of my house. And I was waiting that night after I said it, and I was a little skeptical thinking about it. And I sat there for the first night with nobody banging on the side of my house and running up and down my porch. And
yeah.
So a lot of power in those words. The rebuke.
Oh yeah, I can
Jesus Christ, a lot of power. That's what happened to Barton Unley. He rebuked them years ago, and he would go into the LBL with us for years, and he wouldn't see anything, nothing. We seen stuff, and he didn't see nothing.
Yeah.
Because he finally asked the Lord to let him see these creatures again, but not let them harm it. So, and the last 2 or 3 years, he started seeing them again. But the powerful words, it's amazing to me how strong and how fierce those things are and how well they work.
Wow. What do you guys think about
the power? And that shows you, like Mike said, when he looked into that dogman's eyes, he seen a demon.
Oh, yeah.
And we all know a demon is scared of the scripture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a lady that called me last week showing my phone number, and she's in Ontario, Canada. And I gave it to her, and she said, I've listened to a lot of your stories on radio and on podcasts. And she goes, I got a dog man that comes in my window every night and taps on my window. And I've been doing it for quite a while.
He only knocked once on mine.
I got up, I wondered what it was, and I got up and looked out. I pulled my curtains back, and it scared me so bad. I jumped back and fell on the floor. It was a huge wolf-looking creature looking right at me. And she said, I can't even sleep at night now. My husband wants to move, and what can we do to get rid of it? I said, well, there's 3 things you can do. You put up some real bright floodlights. You put up game cameras around your house. And then when he comes back to the window, you point right at him and say, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus Christ. Leave my property and leave me alone and my family. Don't come back. And she was supposed to be doing that tonight. So I'll find out and let you know what she said.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, hopefully that works for her, because
I hope it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had people say,
do you
man,
think...
I'd love to see a dog man. I was like, no, you don't.
No, you don't.
You don't want to see one.
That's what me and Paul said during the
I'd rather make friends with the Bigfoot.
There's a lot of people out there that are really frightened right now tonight because they're living around some of these type creatures that they're really scared of. And, you know, most of them you don't really have to be as scared of as you think you do. Your fear is within your mind, and you really have to learn how to control it. And I tell people that a lot, but, you know, everybody gets scared at times, but if you let fear take over you, there's no way you can be comfortable. And if you have your faith, you'll beat the fear. So
it's crazy.
I'll be honest with you. It's when I had my encounter, it took me a few weeks before I'd go back in the woods.
I didn't go in the woods for 7 years. I didn't go in the woods at all for 7 years. Mine happened in 92. I didn't go in the woods till 99. And I wasn't hunting then. I was fishing on the Cumberland River between Cheatham County and Nashville. And I had creatures. I didn't know it was creatures. Something stole my minnow bucket. I couldn't find my minnow bucket. That went on twice, and then I finally caught them. It was a Bigfoot, and I was flipped out. I didn't want to be around those things. I'm not coming back in here again. So, you know, I don't think I've ever been scared of anything, but that encounter, I've never seen anything as ugly and as mean looking as that thing was. And there's just no way to explain it. My granddaddy called it a wood booger, and I've never seen another one like it, and I hope I don't. But it was vicious, and I never been that scared in my life. I couldn't even breathe. I remember being in the tree stand, and
Yeah.
they ran off to the house, and I know now. I didn't know then, but I do know now. If it wanted to get me, it could have.
It would have had you. Hard telling
And if
how
you
many
see
times I
one,
walked through that woods and
Don't
it was
ever
there.
They love to play on your fear.
yeah, yeah.
If
That's
you
why
show
they
them
smile
fear,
and turn away. Yeah, they
they'll
feed
play
off
on
of it.
fear.
It's like oxygen to them.
Yeah, you know, the ones on the river that I keep bringing up, they were never like that. They weren't aggressive at all. They were just they knew my intentions and they accepted that, and me the same with them. After a little thinking about it and realizing they weren't like the first one I'd seen, but if I'd met those, I would have never got over my first one.
Yeah. Now, what do you think it is about Dogman or Bigfoot that cause this PTSD for people? Is it the eyes? Is it just the sheer size that, or being conditioned to say no, there's no such thing as monsters? What do you guys think?
Well, we're brought up to believe that. You know, our parents raised us. There's no such thing as monsters. It's just TV and make believe and myth. But you find out that that's not true, and not that they meant to tell us wrong. It's just they hadn't experienced it. And the question you asked, what do I think? I think it also depends on the encounter. So I don't think just riding down the road, seeing one on the side of the road would give you that type of fear. But if you're in a tree stand or out in the woods camping, and you got one that's staring down on you, like Mike was talking about, that makes a difference. I know it made Martin have PTSD because these things tried to kill him and his partner Harry. They tried to kill him. And then there was two Bigfoot that wouldn't let them out of the area. They stood in front of the truck, and you know, there's a difference when they're trying to kill you, or you feel like they are, and just spotting one or seeing one. I don't think you necessarily have PTSD over just having seeing one of them, but depends on the encounter. What do you think, Mike?
Well, yeah, I think, you know, we're made to have an inflow and an outflow of energy and transfer that in all ways, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And I think with the PTSD, and you use the military model, of course, a traumatic event, you've got to change your paradigm now. You've got to rethink a lot of the things you've been taught. Also, not having the outlet to share with, not having the receptive, supportive source to go to, which we're doing better now, but certainly back in the 90s and the 80s, you know, that was the biggest thing with the military, people coming back from war. So you've had an experience that's unique. It caused you to change your paradigm and your frame of reference. It was scary. You know, you're trying to think of how am I going to go forward with this. So now you're nervous and unsure about what's in front of you, and you have to hold all that in and then start, in a lot of respects, living a lie. Not and so then you're blocking the flow of energy, and it's just a perfect storm to cause a lot of trouble. And you know, I'm fortunate enough, I've not ever suffered from that. The mental aspects of life, military service, I was never able to serve. I'm permanently anemic. I've got a blood disease, and I'm the only male in my family that has never served. But my dad, again, being one of the original members of Delta Force, there's a whole it's a mental game, and now there's options and avenues and training for that. But a long time ago, when all this stuff was just swept under the rug, even a lot of stuff with just the horrors of war, but definitely police service, you know, you got to sweep this stuff under the rug. You can't talk about it. There's no support. You're not trained for it. You're not ready for it. And for a lot of people, that's going to cause some trouble. And again, it's just, and Darrell's right. It's the seriousness. How do you think it impacted you? And when it starts impacting you mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally, that there's some PTSD makings going on right there.
Eat you up.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think, Larry, when you had yours? You think it's just from not being able to understand or comprehend what's there?
Oh yeah. Therefore, longest time I'd have nightmares, and it will screw you up. And then I got to talking, and my dad, as he got older, I said I got to be there for him. When he goes hunting, I'm going with him. So I put my fear aside, and like I said, I don't know how many times I've been through that woods, hundreds of times. It was probably there before I ever saw it.
Yeah.
So I leaned on faith, but my dad, it's just the thought of him being out in the woods alone. I didn't want him to be there by himself. So
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
talking to people, like Mike says, it really helps. It does.
It does. And I went right to my father, and it was just the simplest thing. And that's what's funny. It's simple things sometimes. He said, "Son, you said it was the fastest thing you've ever seen move on earth, right?" I said, "Yes, sir."
Oh,
He
they're
said,
fast.
so it's always been there. If it wanted to do harm to you, it would have then, it always would have before. Relax.
Yeah.
He said, he's just relax, learn about it. He encouraged me, learn about it, share about it,
Yeah.
warn other people about it, educate always. So that was such a huge thing. If I didn't have that support, I might still be going crazy. That's the thing I worry
Yeah.
about. I'm sitting here at 54. I'm almost 54 years old, and this is what I'm doing with my Friday night.
Yeah.
And loving it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I'll be 60 my next birthday. So
I got you.
I just turned 53, so I
There you
hear
go.
you, Mike.
Yep.
I'm going backwards.
Yeah, there you go. I'll be 21 again for
he's
no.
the OG in the crowd.
There you go.
Yeah.
Backwards. I look at Ron every day, and as long as I've known him, and he's been such a close friend to me. He's 84 years old, and it's hard for me to believe that Ron is 84 years old, but he's still hanging in there, but doing very well. But time catches up and goes by so fast. I mean, sometimes you want to reach out and grab a hold of that hand and slow it down a little bit, but
Yep.
it happens.
There's just no stopping it.
Nope.
Well, I don't want to keep you guys your whole night because I'm sure it's 10 there.
I don't even know. Yeah, probably.
It's about
it's almost 10.
Yeah, almost.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed
It's been a good show, though.
Thank y'all for having me on. I wish Ethan could have been on. Maybe y'all can get him back and feeling better and have him another time. So, this expedition happens and takes place, and we all do well and see and find what we want and get some really good photography of these creatures and places that we're going, wherever that may be.
We've had our encounters. We're believers. Now, I think our goal now is to prove to the scientists, hey, here it is. What you said never existed, here it is.
Yep.
Well, and that's the thing too
is to show how proof. That's what this whole thing's about.
Yeah. And I've never had.
I know they exist. So.
Or a sighting.
We do, but the average American doesn't, and that's not a big difference. And what about the people that need to know that exist? So that's a big factor. So. But anyway, I appreciate y'all having me on for sure. Daniel,
no problem. It's a pleasure, brother.
I love Daniel, Larry too, and Mike.
Yeah.
Same with you, brother. And
man.
Yeah.
Glad to have you
come back now.
Yes. Lori just got home.
We'll be out in the woods here for too much longer.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Sounds good. And
I gotta get my ATV fixed.
We're gonna get Larry. We're gonna get Larry out of the house, and we're gonna go.
Good.
I gotta make sure Mama's getting better. She's starting to get better.
the
We'll
next
find out
documentary
more in
we're gonna
April.
do.
So
Yeah.
Yeah,
she gets better where I can leave the house for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, what happened?
yeah. Well, that's our next next documentary is going to be in the LBL. So
Okay.
you guys save the time out for us.
Oh, we'll do it. We'll do it.
You got it. You
When,
got
when
it.
that
Thank-
take place?
Nice seeing you, Mike.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
thank you for having me on, guys. Really enjoyed
Hey,
it.
thanks, Mike. Appreciate it, man.
Me on too, and thanks everybody for watching.
Absolutely.
Thanks for being here, man.
All right.
Awesome. Good night,
Good
guys.
night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Thanks again, Mike. So that was pretty good.
That was a good show.
Yeah, just really cool. And I think a lot of people have been waiting to hear a lot of that stuff too. So yeah, we can't beat that one. So we're gonna have to
It'd
have
be
them come
hard to
back.
beat that. There you are.
Oh yeah, yeah. All right, my
Man.
friend. Well, I'll let you go, and I'll run into you tomorrow.
All right. Dang, I
All
wish
right,
we
buddy.
wouldn't have had them difficulties, but it didn't matter. It still worked out well.
Oh, it was still a great conversation. Yeah.
That's probably our
Awesome.
best one yet.
Oh yeah, definitely. More to come.
I'll do some more researching on SteamYard and see what we can find out.
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
that was working fine earlier today. I don't know what happened. And
and
it
it
might
was
be
what?
something with them too.
It
But
could be. Yeah,
I'll
it
let
could
you
be.
go. I'll
Yeah,
talk
yeah.
to you tomorrow, brother.
Sounds good, man. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it, and I hope everybody likes
Always
the
a
show.
joy.
Oh yeah.
I'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a good weekend.
You got it, man. You too. Thanks.
Bye.
All right, guys. That's it. We're gonna call it. Thank you.